everyone. This is your president and
Vice President.
of the Single Family Living Youth Advisory Board. Woo!
Yo!
As can be seen, or maybe not, yeah, we have a special guest for today. Woo! Do you want to introduce
Cut
yourself?
off.
Oh well. Anyways, do you want to introduce yourself, buddy?
How's it going? This is VH. I'm coming in for this episode.
The VH stands for the Voice of Honor.
I mean, he's very near and dear. We'll be referring to him as VH from now on to save ourselves from a mouthful of words. And, like most times, I'll be the host of today's episode. So without further ado, we'll be presenting you with another episode of the pod. And, sometimes we like to give a disclaimer. So before we start actually going into depth about today's episode, I just wanted to give a disclaimer that we're talking about individual experiences and that we cannot speak on behalf of other people and their college experience thus far. So yeah, if the VP wants to take away the floor or I can start the conversation, doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so first I wanted to talk about our transition period from high school to college, especially with the expectations versus reality. College always felt far away. Even in senior year, I just felt like I couldn't picture myself in college. I knew I was gonna go, but I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it would be like. But over the summer of senior year, while transitioning into college, I was filled with a lot of anxiety and worry about it because I was thinking about a lot of things that might happen. What if I make no friends? What if I don't get along with my teachers, or they're very unrealistic and bad? What didn't help was that when I signed up for my classes, one of my teachers had 2.5 stars out of 5 on Rate My Professor. And that had me freaked out. I was like, oh my god, first semester I'm going to fail it because I have a horrible professor. I'm not going to get anything. But for the reality of it, college is really not that big of a deal as people say it is. There's a lot of walking for sure, which I wasn't used to. But once you just kind of once you have a visual of everything around you, it makes a lot of sense. I know one of my biggest worries was the location of different buildings. It was such a stupid thing to worry about thinking back, but I was so stressed about getting lost and being late for class for some reason. Even though I know that I would get adapted eventually, I just didn't want to go through the process of having to navigate in a big campus with a lot of people there. But when I actually got there, I realized it really was simple. I just needed a map, and I just needed to be calm and collected while trying to make sense of the environment around me. I think one thing that helped was the fact that my university really encourages having a one-on-one relationship with your professors, and that's why they make sure that the classroom sizes are mostly small, unless it's a big class that undergraduates have to take. Chemistry, everyone has to take it their first semester, first year, so we have lecture halls for that. But overall, it's not that bad. That's the most basic thing I can say about it. It really wasn't that bad of an adjustment. Hello.
We're here.
Well,
bro.
I mean, I'll say I had a lot of similar concerns. My big concern was that college was going to be a lot like high school. In high school, especially towards the especially in my senior year, I was getting very burnt out. At that point, it feels like you're just kind of going for the motions. You see the exact same people, you go for the same classes. It's the same cycle every day. And, one of the things I was looking forward to in college, it was that, you'd have more freedom to make your own schedule. But at the same time, I was worried that, again, it'd feel like going through the motions. But once you get to college, I guess you realize how much more freedom you have in that regard. Especially for the amount of free time, I feel like you can just do more, and
I definitely agree with that. I feel like in high school, it was always the same thing every single day, and
Tiring.
it was just tiring because we had a heavy load with IB and AP, and it was extremely tiresome, and burnout was really common. And I'm like, I'm not that surprised that college is different. I knew it was going to be like less frustrating than high school because high school was a constant, repetitive stuff we had to do. But I was surprised at the fact that like I actually have autonomy over my schedule. Is it autonomy or anatomy? Oh wait, no, it's autonomy. Excuse me.
Autonomy.
But I had autonomy over my schedule and what I can do in between classes, and even my classes themselves. I can like because they have like more larger deadlines. I have more room to like schedule out my days and like plan when I do my homework instead of it being like immediate, like next day you gotta get this all done.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, since me and the VP came from the same school, the stress of the block scheduling, where just actually let me step back on because our school is a top school, so there was already pressure from that in order to maintain that position as the best. And when you that's all you know going in and exiting the school, you have this expectation that if you're not on your grind, you're doing something wrong. Or if you're not trying to strive to be better academically and really only academically, then you're a waste of space in the school because the school only has such limited seating, right? And as an IB school, just going in with that kind of mentality was so draining, but then trying to push through it that entire time just made me like dread college because I'm like, oh my goodness, if college is like this too, I'm not going to want to do it. So I definitely had a similar situation as the VP where I didn't want to go to college. I was like, I can I take a gap year, aka never go? Can I take a gap year forever? And it was a mentality like that where just going through the motions in senior year, like the VH said, it's just like, okay, same people, same curriculum, doing things just to graduate with really no end goal. Like, I knew what I wanted to do because I low key forced to go to college, but getting to that point where it's like, okay, I'm a college freshman was so tedious, and just the lack of autonomy as a result of having specific requirements in order to graduate just made me not look forward to the college experience, if that makes sense.
Oh my god, wait, that's another thing. Like in college, there's like a lot more people, especially for me and the president. Like we only had 100 people in our graduating class. Like it's a
Dry.
very very small class. But in college, everyone's focused on themselves. They don't really
Care.
care about you, if that not in a bad way, but like everyone's just they're not gonna be judgmental about if you're keeping up or not because everyone's concerned with themselves in a good way.
Yeah, cuz I know I had external things where I got to talk to people that were in company settings and they were like, "Yeah, you're good. I graduated college with like a 2.9 and I still have a good paying job." So it's like there's not as much stress in college than there is in high school because once you're in college, as long as you maintain a 2.0 or something, you're Gucci. Now there are exceptions, like if you're in the honors like me in the VH, or you just go to a school where they expect more out of you, then that's a different situation. I know
Or
our
if you're in medical,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Oh, I did have a question for you both because I know there's only two other people in my major concentration. So I'm doing, for those who don't know, I'm doing civil to environmental engineering. And I just know there's another girl and then there's this guy, and that's it. Everybody else in my program are only doing civil engineering. So how many people are in your fields? Because I know the VH is doing an accelerated program as well. I think you
I'll
are
let the
too.
VH go first.
Right, right. So, the accelerated program at our school basically it allows you to get your bachelor's a year early. What I'm doing, like, I'm an economics major, but I plan on going to law school. And what our school allows us to do is basically get your bachelor's a year early and then go off to law school. So you're getting like the whole process. You basically just get it all done a year early. Like it's normally a 7-year process. In this case, it's a 6-year. So for that program, there's actually quite a bit of people. But for the economics degree itself, I've met maybe one other econ student,
Oh.
which is like crazy. But yeah, no, I like besides that, I've hardly met any other people in my field.
Yeah, but the school's already so small. We have to keep in mind, like, in the emails, they literally said the average class size is 19 people. So it's not like we're going to a huge...
19?
Yeah, it's not like we're going to a big school, guys. Me and the VH, it's not a big school. So we definitely run into the same people, especially if you've seen them around once, you'll probably keep seeing them multiple times a day.
Oh
What
my
about you?
goodness,
What
that
about
is
you, VP?
so small. For us, it's like 30 per class on average.
No, I meant, like, in your specific, like, major concentration.
Oh, it's really hard to tell so far because I haven't branched out fully yet. I still have to go to like some clubs and explore how many people are doing the same thing as me. But my university is mostly like it's more for like engineers and like computer science majors. So that's what the university focuses on mostly, and that's where like a lot of opportunities lie. So that's why I haven't really met a lot of people that are going into the healthcare field. I know there's like clubs and like there's even sororities for it. I got invited to one, but I was like, heck no.
Oh.
But yeah, I can't really find people that are doing the same thing as me, and that kind of makes me feel like a little bit more alone because like I came to this university with a few friends as well, and they're all doing computer engineering, and I'm the only one that's doing biochemistry as my major. So I just have to make sure that I personally go out and try to see if other people have the same route as me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of the things I like about college, though, because, again, I kid you not, I've met one other person who's an econ major,
Yeah.
and we only have online classes so far, so I haven't even seen him in person since like orientation. But one of the things I like about college is just how active the student life is, at least at ours.
For sure.
Even though like I've been able to talk to people like other econ students, I've been able to still reach out to people and like I play saxophone. I've been able to meet up with other people who also play instruments, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like you're still able to branch out and meet people with similar interests in like other fields, which is nice, compared to high school.
Yeah, I agree. And you can like create friendships off of that too that are like pretty long lasting. Like even if it's like for individual classes as well. Like I literally made a friend just because we're both struggling in calc and like wanted to help each other out.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Wait, what?
You were telling me about that. Was that the girl you were telling me about earlier today?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I think that's how me and the VH met through our philosophy class, because
Yeah, just like sharing the same class and having the same struggle, it brings people together.
yeah,
And like the clubs and organizations they make, like people are so passionate to like give advice and help others out. Like I really like seeing that.
yeah, it's like sometimes I need y'all to chillax, but I like the passion that they have, and especially towards freshmen, because sometimes when you're at a club and it's mostly upperclassmen, they'll kind of only stick to those individual people and be standoffish when it comes to newcomers. So at least when we had our school festival where it was all about trying to get more recruitment for student organizations and clubs, it was really refreshing to see people like jump out, like over the table, not literally, but like with their
Over the
excitement
table.
in order to try to get more engagement, because I think if you're passionate about something, other people will be too. And it's like some of the clubs I was like, I don't know if I'd be interested in, but once I heard them start talking more and just them showcasing that passion, it piqued my interest for sure. Did I do some of it for candy and other goodies? Yes, but still it was good to see that people like are willing to make a club just to underscore their passion in a certain area. And a lot of the clubs weren't even in their major concentration, except for dental. There was so much dental. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, it's always dental. It's the same for
Why
my
was there
university.
like 15 dental organizations? I'm like, gang, y'all could have just capped at 3 or something.
And their teeth are yellow, so I'm
Ah!
confused. Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's okay if your teeth is yellow.
Oh, your turn.
Not everyone can control it. Anyway,
Your turn.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there's like, I during welcome day for our university, I would literally just go up to like the clubs, like the stands for the clubs and organizations, and just like hear them talk, and like their passion was amazing to see. Like I'll literally stand next to one talking about how they're gonna make a rocket this year and like launch it to break the sound barrier, and they're gonna be like, "Are you interested? What's your major?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm biochemistry, but it sounds cool. Great job, guys." And then I walk away.
I think I forgot who said it, guys. I'm not locked in, but I think it was the VH where he talked about having that freedom and flexibility, and it's definitely helpful because like I said before, our high school had a strict block schedule, and I just noticed, and I talked to the VP about this, and I said because it's not as stressful, my brain doesn't need as much food. Like I don't need brain food. And I was like, I definitely don't have the appetite I used to have in high school. Like, I'm not saying, guys, don't eat. Please eat. I see a lot of videos on TikToks where commuters are waiting until 8 at night to eat a good meal. Please bring
Wait, that's
lunch.
low-key me.
Please pack lunch. But I'm saying, like, because there's so much time in between my classes, I don't feel stressed in order to get things done. I actually feel like, okay, so can I get more classes? I'm having a whole lot of downtime, but
That's
it's also
another thing. I feel like I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I was so used to the constant stress at high school, like having something due like always, that
yeah,
college felt so weird because I had so much time to just like do anything
yeah.
and get my assignments done early on and just like relax. And it was a weird feeling. I felt like I was doing something wrong because I didn't feel productive.
I mean, I feel like the like big gaps in time, like the just the sheer amount of free time, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse. I feel like you
Yeah.
almost have to like go out and like participate and be active with your college and like having a social life because like otherwise, I just don't see how you spend all that time. Like you could just study the whole time, but even then, you still have time left over.
Me with
Yeah,
math.
for sure. And that's another thing. College, like, you have to be one reaching out. You have
Proactive.
to be the one being active and participating with everything. No one's gonna like come up to you and like
No one's gonna
kind of
force you.
hand the opportunities over to you or hand the friendships over to you. You gotta make that push.
Yeah, I think. Oh my. Yeah, I think that's a good segue into that social aspect because we're getting a lot into the social aspect of college, right? And what the VP was saying about no one's going to be proactive but you. Obviously, there's gonna be extroverted people, and you better hope and pray that someone will come up to you and start talking. But 9 times out of 10, no one's going to do that. So even if you're an introvert like me, I literally had to just step outside of my comfort zone and start talking to people. And I think that's the hardest part, especially when you're trying to look for opportunities or friendships or ways to engage in the social aspect of the university. No one's going to be like, hey, well, except for our honor seminar class where we're forced to go to some of these events. But 9 times out of 10, no one's going to be like, hey, you gotta go. This is a grade. Like, come on now. You gotta participate, increase morale up in here. And it's just not like that. We're here to get an education, hopefully, and go home. So in high school, it just felt too much. And I felt like I couldn't do anything outside of school because school was my life. I had to put everything else on hold because all we had to meet certain requirements and we had to do this, that, and the third. And if it wasn't done by this time, you're a disgrace to your family or something.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like again with the high school schedule, like you have like 5 minute you have 5 minute periods to like walk between classes. You have one, I guess you have lunch to socialize with people, but it's the same people. Like half the time, my friends end up like a different lunch period, so I don't
Yeah.
get to see them. And right after school, I gotta do homework until it's like time for bed, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't. Do we even have lunch together, VP? I don't think we. I think there was one time that I had lunch because one of the teachers lied and said I had first lunch, but I didn't. So I walked into
Oh,
class being like, "Hey, where was everybody at the lunch?" And they were like, "Oh, we have second lunch." No, ever lie to me again. But I
Oh
think
my
other.
goodness.
Oh yeah, we had lunch together a few times, but literally most of the time, I would just be sitting there like a loner or just walking the halls because I didn't have anybody in that
No.
lunchroom. I would just eat my lunch while walking around.
Lunch in the bathroom.
Oh, I didn't do that, bro. That's that Disney stuff. That's that movie stuff.
I know some people did.
Yes! Oh my god, the
It was a little
upperclassmen would
sad.
like eat ramen and just sit on the floor and start talking and then they would dump it in the sink. I'm like, y'all are nasty. Why are we having a
Ew.
whole lunch gathering in the bathroom? Weird.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it's
Weird.
weird.
I feel like for the social aspect, for me, it's okay. Like, I feel like I wouldn't say I'm extroverted. Maybe like, how do you pronounce it? Ambiverted?
Yeah.
Or something like the in between introverted and extroverted.
Me too.
So like, I can socialize, but like sometimes I just like don't want to.
I don't wanna.
And in high school, because it was like there was like small classes,
We
and you
had
kind of had
to.
to be good with everyone in your grade because there's only like 100 of you. You basically have to know them for group projects and stuff.
Well, not
It
necessarily.
was really easy. Like, even if I had no friends in a class, I'd be fine because I could just be friends with someone. But in university, it's like there's so many different people with like so many different like ways of acting that it's like so unpredictable, and that's why I don't like at all. Like, I'm Muslim, right? And my university, they have like a lot of Muslims too, but a lot of them are like severely introverted, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just like it's a little awkward because I'll try to make small talk or like just say hi, like, oh, your hijab's so pretty. Like, I want to compliment them because like a lot of them are like really, really beautiful.
Yeah, they're baddies.
And
Oh my god.
they just ignore me.
Oh,
Like they go
oh.
dead silent, or they just like nod their head at me and then walk away. And then I'm just like, ouch. Like,
Or
but
a
at the
points
same
lost.
time, I know like a lot of them have like different cultures too. So I know that's why they might be influenced or they're not used to having like someone just kind of come at them and be like, oh my god, your job is so pretty. So I try to be mindful of that, but it makes me realize like I can't just like go up to anyone and make friends like how I used to back in high school.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
just like I have to be more careful about how I'm approaching someone and also just be less like strong when I'm trying to talk to someone.
yeah, I think for our school, maybe it's because they conditioned the culture to be like that. Like the first day, like the freshman orientation was literally us forced into that situation where we had to talk to people. And because it's such a small community, it's like regardless if you like these people or not, you're going to have to work with them. And by the end of really even freshman or sophomore year, you knew who did what, who didn't do what, or like the social dynamics or just most information about each person because again there's nobody here. Of course we started with
Yeah.
more than 100 people, but as people dropped out and went back to their home school and things like that, we still knew how people operated. And it's like even if
Yeah,
you weren't
and-
necessarily friends with them, you knew of them enough to be like, I don't really want to work with them even though I have to.
There was never an awkward group project because everyone had like the shared suffering of the IB, and that's what we could like connect on and talk about. But like in university, like that's the thing though. I feel like it also like kind of backstabbed me because in university I don't know what to talk about aside from small talk or how to like talk about bigger things aside from school because
Yeah.
that's what I was used to talking about in high school. But now in university, it's like people have lives, they have different things to like talk about or connect on, and I don't know how to get to that stage, if that makes sense.
But yeah, anytime I talk about the IB program, I just feel so vain, and it goes back to what the VH was saying in our philosophy class because he was talking to other students who also AP lifestyle, and I was like, I don't want to bring up the fact that I did IB, so it's not necessarily like I can relate to the AP struggle, but I also struggled with a similar type of curriculum where it's very strenuous and accelerated in relation to normal classes. Have you ever had that feeling, VH, where you like couldn't connect with people in college or just high school or both?
Being able to connect to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with what the VP was talking about, I think a big part of it is also the size of the school. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I go to like a fairly small, like we go to a smaller school.
Yeah.
I feel like that helps a lot with the socialization. I mean, if you go to like a really big school, I kind of get it how, yeah, you got to be a bit more careful. I mean, there's just more people, so I feel like there's, a lot more different, a lot more different interests and like opinions, if you get what I'm saying. So I get that.
Makes you more open-minded.
But I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I guess this can be a follow-up question to that, or it's just a statement and you guys can comment on it. But I noticed like most of my interactions with people in my like major concentration is solely based on work. Or like I will feel I will feel like the smartest person in the class because I'm the only one that knows what's going on, so people rely on me to relay that information. And like people don't really want to get to know you. They want to utilize your smarts in order to help them in academically, right? Rather
Oh,
than
yeah.
getting to know you naturally. And I feel like that's the difference between like me and the VH compared to me and like people in the College of Engineering, because I don't talk to them personally about like my music or my interests. It's only about schoolwork, which is fine, but like I don't know. It just makes that connection harder, especially with all the different type of people and just different types of engineers we have in those classes in general.
I nod my head as if you can see it,
What was I nodding to?
but you can't. Or maybe there's like a personal thing, but I don't really care to branch out. Like, I'm not that crazy about making friends, because one thing about college too is that I don't mind being alone for things.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I'm not saying I'm a loner, like I want to be a lone wolf or anything, but I'm okay with like not having someone there as like emotional support.
Oh, same. I think I told you this before starting school, while the VH has to step out. But I think I told you, or I told one of my friends.
IBH.
I said that I said the same thing as you, where I didn't mind if I went into college not having friends or just went through the entire process, because my friend actually who graduated this year, she was like, yeah, I only made like 2 friends max, and that was for external factors. But just hearing why she only made 2 friends, or why she only tried to prioritize those 2 people in her life rather than branching out, it just made me realize that in high school I put a lot of effort into friendships that obviously didn't work out. Like now I want to focus on my academics, because sometimes I let those two like intertwine to the point where I would put so much effort into those relationships and sacrifice other things. So I don't know. I'm definitely with you on that.
It's
where
not worth it. Don't do
hashtag
it.
you don't need friends, guys. Be a loner forever. Just kidding. But it's just like, yeah, at this point I don't have a problem being alone. But also, if you want to be my friend, please come say hi. I'm not scary. I don't bite.
I
Are
mean,
you a commuter, Mr. VH? Sorry, I interrupted you.
I am also yes, I am a commuter.
We're all commuters.
Commuters.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had to ask.
Bro had his
Oh.
bro lost his train of
Okay.
thought.
Right. Well, I mean, for the longest time, especially in like high school and junior high, I was a huge loner. Now, I've almost come into college with the opposite mindset though. Like I've tried to like reach out and join as many clubs and talk to as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that like if I didn't meet people, I'd be like devastated. But you know, I've tried to also kind of balance that social life with academics.
So you didn't
yeah,
have
like
friends?
I try to look out for it, but it's not a priority per
Yeah,
se.
not anymore. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
So you didn't have friends?
Okay, I did. Okay, it's not that I didn't have
That's one way to
friends. It's
say
that
it.
I didn't mind if I wasn't with people 24/7. You know.
Yeah.
Right,
that makes
right,
sense.
right. But yeah,
How do you
yeah.
guys feel about commuting?
I mean, for me, it's like a half an hour drive of
He has
traffic.
the
That
shortest
is one
commute.
thing. I
For
do.
me,
I
it's,
do.
for me, it's 1 hour with wait, it's around 1 hour and 10 minutes with traffic.
Same.
That's
So
good. That's 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
for
as
me-
bad as a 9 to 5.
Oh my gosh.
Because I go out at 7 a.m. and I come back at 7 p.m.
Oh, I take as long as possible. So like it's gonna be so bad in the winter. Oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
like I know for me today, I left the house around like 6:30, so my commute was only 34 minutes, but usually it's like 54 and upwards of an hour and 30 minutes with traffic.
Ow. Yikes.
So I know
That's right.
just this Tuesday I missed my co-op class because of just straight traffic. So instead of getting there at maybe like 8:10 or whatever, which would still be late, I got to school at 8:50, which was right before my math class. So
Oh
yay,
my
traffic.
goodness. Yeah, that's why I tried my best to avoid 8 a.m.s because I knew I would be coming in late.
It was a required course and it's the only one. But yeah, all my other classes, I mean, like, all my other days start at 9, which is not bad, except for the fact that she does attendance every time when I'm late. Like, but I just ask for it at the end. No one else does that when they come in late. I do not care. I don't have a problem going up and being like, hey, pull up that QR code. I don't care. And it's just like sometimes I think college, I mean, high school you have to do this, but in college you need to definitely self-advocate or just be willing to speak up, because a lot of times professors will make mistakes or things will happen like, hey, you can't make the class, or just small things, big things, just things in general where you need to speak up for yourself, because you don't have the privilege of your parents calling up or emailing saying, oh, hey, Billy Bob isn't gonna be at school, or Billy Bob had an accident, or things like that, where you have a crutch to not have to be the point of contact over yourself. But now we're in college, where even if you're not necessarily 18, you're still considered grown. And that's just like, I think that was the hardest concept for me to grasp, because I'm not a grown, but my family, at least my family was like, now that you're in college, that's the equivalent of being grown. You have that independence, so whether you like it or not, you're grown. And I'm like, no, I want to be a little girl forever.
I mean, my dad was the exact same way. He's like, son, like, literally on my 18th birthday, he's like, son, you're 18 now. You're not my responsibility. Whatever happens to you is happens.
Oh,
like, it's not my job anymore.
That's crazy.
That's rather blunt.
Yeah,
that's
no,
like
he was
crazy
pretty
for me here,
straightforward.
because I guess in my culture it's like you're my kid until you're
married in a way.
87 years old, and you're still my kid then.
Oh yeah, my family's the same way. Those always see me as a kid because I'm the youngest, but realistically, they're like, you're a college kid, so you're grown, but you'll still be my baby. So I'm in the middle of you two, where your dad's just like, nah, brother, you're as good as gone now.
Yeah,
you're
there's
grown.
two extremes in the middle to this.
Yeah, but my family's like, you're still my baby.
It's not that it's not like my parents abandoned. It's not like they just kicked me out. It's just we're not checking your grades. You're gonna manage your tuition, all your finances. That's your job now. So that type of thing. You just gotta learn how to do things yourself. We're not gonna help you with that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's also you can still come to them for guidance. They're not like, you see that number?
Goodbye.
18. But they're like, if you're independent, but if you ever need help, then that's what we'll be. But we're not going to be that parent over here feeding you information. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, on the extreme, I know, some of my friends, their parents did just straight up kick them out of the house at 18.
Yeah, that's kind of common. More common than I thought it was.
Yeah. I know a lot of kids at our school were forced to, live on campus, or forced to, move to out-of-state schools, knowing it's so expensive, because their parents wanted them to have that independence. I know my family was like, you need to live on campus. You shouldn't, have your mom drive you to school every day, but it's like, I don't have a choice. It's and two, housing is expensive, and the freshman dorms are not good. So, if I'm going to be paying for $5,000, I better be getting the best treatment. So, yeah. Y'all aren't catching me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, on top of, I don't know about the VP's experience, but, I've heard a lot of horror stories from at least the freshman dorms. I've heard about, a lot of the people I've met that live on campus. I don't know, it's just really interesting hearing about the different, I guess, what it's like living on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
toured
I'm getting
that stuff.
cockroaches, mold, and no one comes to maintain them.
The
But
dorms are hot boxes at our school. Wait, first of all, how are you gonna comment your school doesn't even have dorms?
yeah, they have apartments that they own.
That
though,
does
that
not
you can,
count.
like,
They just
yes,
want
it
that
does.
dinero.
Put it in them.
They want that
It's just
dinero.
That's true. My apartments sound pretty okay, but they're way too much.
How much is it a year?
In a year, I didn't calculate. Oh wait, let me think.
Girl, just give a guesstimate.
I'm pulling out the calculator.
Okay.
1 second.
But yeah, no, like, I don't know if you heard, but, like, the
6,000.
first week, they had
6,000.
Almost 7,000.
Almost 7,000.
Yeah.
Does that come with a meal plan or?
No.
Yeah, no, thank
Yikes.
you.
But they pay for your electric bills,
So
water bills.
I don't care. I'll take the crappy freshman dorm.
Yeah.
That's the same
I mean,
amount you would have to pay for a single room. Why would I pay?
It's not. It's like a studio, but still.
No, at that point, I'd live in, like, an apartment nearby.
Literally.
Oh, it is an apartment, like an apartment studio.
No,
I don't
I
know.
mean like an apartment that they don't own.
Oh yeah, that they don't own. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Or like at least 10 minutes away from the school. You can get
Yeah,
cheaper
because
than
that's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
But in this economy,
It's
I don't
$750
know.
a month.
I mean, that's pretty accurate given the current state of the economy right now.
Yeah, but
so-
still, like, come
Yeah.
on now.
So does anybody have any concluding remarks before I wrap this up?
No.
Okay. So as we conclude the podcast, I just wanted to give a shout out to all of our socials as we've been working really hard. And, I gotta keep scheduling uploads, so I want to definitely make content for you all because we want to get more engagement from the general public, but also members of the youth. So, anyone is welcome to come on the podcast. That's why we had our VH on here today. I forced him. I forced his hand, but that's okay. So check out the
Against
podcast.
his will.
Please check out the podcast on the Single Family Living Nonprofit Organization YouTube channel, or if you want it short and sweet, it's called Crisis Era on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a bunch of other podcast platforms. But also you can find us on TikTok at SFLYAB4 and SFLYAB on Instagram. And if you want to find the parent organization, follow them on Instagram at Detroit SFL and other platforms like Facebook, Blue Sky. So please and thank you in advance, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Peace, love, stay safe. Bye!